All right, this is John Nestor again. JJ to my grandkids. Henry the cat and I are heading out of North Conway, and Henry's pissed off because he doesn't like to travel. And the F-150 really reeks. I Lysoled and Febrezed the crap out of it this morning before we got going, but Henry, it's gonna smell bad for a long time, bud. Let's see. Gotta get some gas. I won't make it all the way to Marblehead on what I have in the tank. Should be home in about 3 hours. It's Sunday morning. Sunday, I think it's the 13th of November. Pretty mild too, mild day. Like 44 degrees. Henry, kiss my ass. Just calm down, because if you puke on the way home and I have to spend another half hour, that's going to be problems between you and me. But so had a nice weekend. We had dinner last night with Joanne's friends from the Salem public schools, and then before that I had a nice lunch with Christos Laganos up at the Mount Washington Hotel. Pretty disappointed with the food at the Mount Washington Hotel. It's not something that I'd go out of my way for anyway, outside of just meeting somebody. I think if I ever go there again, it's just going to be for drinks and stuff. But the good part, it's like a midway point between North Conway and Sugar Hill, where Christos lives. So he's a good guy. You guys would like him. He's a good conservative, and yet really intelligent, very open-minded, like me. So that's why I like him, I guess. At any rate, see, the only other issue I think that came up is that my Zipa that I use for my sleep apnea when I don't want to carry all the sleep apnea equipment, I don't think that freaking worked, because I was snoring like a son of a bitch. And Joanne ended up going into the kid's bedroom and then calls me names, snore boy, the next morning. Which, yeah, that's cool. She gets pissed off because Donald Trump makes fun of a handicapped guy, and yet myself, with severe freaking sleep apnea, she makes fun of me. So, who's right in this one, peeps? I'll leave that up to you. Once again, I think I am on the moral high ground on this issue. But at any rate, if I can think of anything else that I think you should know on the way home, I'll let you know. In terms of the progress on the Chamberlain Marblehead gunning, Dory, there's some chance that something good happens today, because, like I say, unless there's screw up in terms of traffic, and I kind of don't believe that will happen, I should be home by with plenty of time to sneak over to Peabody and move that dressing cabinet that I've been making right along. It's in the final stages. I just have to sand it, and I have to put 3 coats of poly on it, and then that will be moved right into the bedroom. So, and then this morning, or actually last night, I woke up in the middle of the night during one of my sleep apnea bouts, apparently, and I started thinking about the house at 70 Nanapashmet that we're acquiring to rehab. Basically, we bought it in the 700s, and we're going to put about 400 into it and sell it for 1.5 million. And very high-end area. Believe it or not, the 1.5 million is in the low end of that market on Marblehead Neck. But I started to get inspired that maybe I should do a lot of the trim and the millwork, and even especially if we got the whole place and we put up new sheetrock, it wouldn't be a bad thing for us to come in, invest in a couple of spray painters and do at least some of the initial paint spraying, if not the final coats. But and we're going to leave the colors very, very neutral anyway. So whites and off-whites and beiges, probably, so that anybody who comes in is going to want to change it, especially in those higher income brackets. People just like to put their own name on their environment, and so I know contractors who just camp their pickup trucks and vans up in Marblehead Neck, and you know, they're just gainfully employed for months and months in beautiful homes where people just decide that they don't want the kitchen to be facing this way, they want it to be facing that way, and they should have some dormers here, and so, you know, a lot of situations where people change their environment, and it happens in that income bracket regardless of what the economic situation is. So at any rate, we'll see. You know, the problem is that since we're going to be involved in getting the investment and interfacing with the bankers and doing project management, really the high-end oversight, to take a deep dive in and say, okay, I'm going to spray paint this, or I'm going to hang some crown molding, or I'm going to build some library shelves. That has the ability not to save money, but to cost money if by doing that you're missing other opportunities that are coming down the road. So I'll have to play that one out, but man, I would like to. I'd love to get involved in that, and if we could, and there is going to be a lot of opportunity to go in there and get some sawdust flying. So, alrighty then. Henry is calmed down. Such a good boy, and I have never made it from North Conway to Marblehead without Henry boy blowing his load here, and so I don't anticipate that this will be the first. There's nothing unique about today. He had a can of cat food in this morning, and I expect to see most of that can on my truck seat soon. So, alrighty. I'm going to sign out for now, and if I think of anything, I'll check back in with you.